Hello, everyone. Welcome to Andrea Fisher Fine Pottery in beautiful downtown Santa Fe, New Mexico. Today is October. It's October, yeah. Today is February 3rd, 2023, the day after Groundhog's Day. Well, the groundhog saw his shadow yesterday, and so a way to stay nice and warm, especially for all you people on the East Coast, would be to cuddle up to your computer and watch our demonstration today. We are lucky enough, privileged, to be able to have Kevin Naranjo from Santa Clara Pueblo. Kevin's been making pots for a long, long time, and what he does is incredible sgraffito work where he scratches into the surface of his already fired pieces of pottery. He is most known for the wonderful realistic animals that he puts on his pots. And we are delighted and happy, actually thrilled to have Kevin here today.
All right.
You're on.
So you do this all freehand?
Yeah.
So there's no pattern or you're just using I see him measuring from the pattern on top to make the lines?
Yeah. I just everything's freehand. The only time I use anything would be the compass once in a while.
Okay.
And but other than that, everything else is freehand. And so like all these raw materials here,
Right.
like you see this is the clay.
Right.
So it's sifted, it's dug,
Ground and sifted?
it's this ain't really, it's just raw. So what it is it's dug out, and when it's fresh, it looks like chocolate.
Okay.
So it's like drying out now. You can't add water to it right away. If not, it won't melt down. So you have to let it dry out first. So when it dries out, then it'll melt down. So once we get it melted down, then it goes through a sift of 60, a 80, and a 120. And I do a 5-gallon bucket.
Okay.
So it takes a while for me to sift the clay. And then this is the volcanic ash. We call this shuya. And this is also sifted. This is our temper.
Okay.
And it's sifted through the 60, 80, and 120 also. And right here, this is the red clay slip. This is used to polish the pottery. Excuse me. So when the piece is made, it's actually you see the tan color in here?
Right.
It dries like that. And then after that, this red clay slip is applied, and this is before it's fired. So the piece will absorb the clay, and we put several coats on it. And then after that, there's stone polish with these polishing stones. And
Wow. And that's done by hand?
yeah.
Oh.
And so all the pieces that go into the firing they're all red.
Right.
They're all red first. Then after the firing, it's fired outdoors with in a tin box, which is made to. So I have cedar wood on the bottom and cedar wood on top, and dry cow patties on the side.
Okay.
And then I torch it up. And at the hottest point of the firing, I'll come with the dry horse manure and smolter the entire firing, so it smokes it black.
Oh,
And
okay.
once it smokes it black, then they stay in there for a while. Then after that, I'll take them out. And then
So that's what gives them,
Actually a smoke.
it's
Yeah.
actually smoke that gives it the color.
I was thinking
Yeah.
it was more like raku, which they put it in and it burns, but this is a smoke.
Huh,
Wow.
interesting.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
yeah, let's see.
This is beautiful stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Let's see.
So it has to be the horse dung to get the color?
Yeah.
Oh,
See,
okay.
so here's the pieces going in.
Okay.
They're all red.
Yep.
And then this is when it's fired.
Okay. Huh.
And then this is when it's smoltered.
Huh. Interesting.
And then after that, they come out black.
Right.
So-
And you have to polish them again after they come out, or is
no, they're all polished.
They're,
They're
all
polished.
they're polished already. So
Yeah.
the firing doesn't affect the shine or anything.
No, once they're fired, and then after that, I'll come and I'll etch.
Right.
I'll take out once I finish all my etching, I come back with a second firing to oxidize off the smoke to bring it back to the natural red clay slip.
Okay. Okay.
So that's how that's done.
Okay.
And so like I have these pieces that are still in the process of getting designed, but these are complete. And
So how many hours would you have in one like this size by the time you're done?
man, probably about the etching alone, probably at least a couple weeks.
So 80 hours of like a full like a work day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll work anywhere from 4 to 6, and then maybe even 8 hours a day. But if I'm not etching, I'll be either making, which this is the way the clay looks once it's.
Yeah, I imagine you can only do so much of that fine work at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me. See, this is
Oh,
the clay. This is what's used to.
that makes a
I mean,
basic shape.
Yeah. So you could see how fine it is.
Oh, yeah. And do you spin it to make it, or?
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah, do you spin it, or what do you?
Mix it. See, it's
But I mean,
really.
actually form the pot. Do you spin the pot,
Oh,
or do you?
I
Or do you
hand
fo-
coil. Yeah.
Oh, you hand coil.
Yeah.
I was wondering.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you make
so-
a rope and then coil it.
Yeah, so it's actually the bottom piece. The bottom will be made like so.
Right.
And then you keep adding coils.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then
Oh boy, it's really easy. Pretty easy to mold. I mean, it's super soft. Yeah.
it depends on how you It's
Oh,
good to keep your clay good and
Good and moist.
clean.
Yeah.
So like majority of us.
But that really dries you out too.
So
You
like making the base will be, forming it
Right.
using water, and then here's like some of the tools that I use. This is one that I really like.
To make the shape.
To make the
Yeah.
basic shape. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
So what's the level for? Oh, probably when you do the top.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, when I'm sanding,
Okay.
just to.
Cool.
But yeah. See, so This is a coconut.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Coconut shell, so it holds some
Yeah.
water?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Basically, we use either gourds or like the coconut works good.
right. I got to imagine the gourd was more traditional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it'd be used
Oh, okay.
to like shape.
Right, shape and smooth.
Yeah.
Do you use it on the outside as well?
The outside I use either a popsicle stick or one of these other twos.
Okay.
Huh.
So that would be like forming the bottom.
Right.
And then
Always keeping it moist so it acts like a kind of
Yeah.
like to thin the top out and let it move a little more
and then just
and to make it bond too. Yeah, sure.
and then like
Oh,
Then, like-
yeah. Okay.
to smooth out the
Sure, the finger marks and your
Yeah.
yeah. Oop.
I make the bottom and then kind of let it just sit for a while, just not too long, but while it's still moist. And then after that, I'd apply then start making the coils.
Oh, okay.
And usually we'll use either other pots to like place it on the bottom.
Oh, to give it its final shape.
Yeah, to give it the shape, or and then after that, let roll out the coils
Right.
and.
Oh, okay. Huh.
And then after that,
Lay them on there and
be at it like that.
Got it. Oh yeah, you gotta have. No wonder. Yeah, in the end, your hourly wage is pretty low. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I think if we charge for the woodworking, we'll do
Oh, well, yeah, just think, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted. Well, I did. I worked for a while, and my dad. He asked me. He told me. I'll never forget what he told me. He told me, "I don't know why you want to work. You got a God-given talent. Why don't you just keep doing your pottery?" But see, and then after that, it's coils.
More
added up.
layer on
Yeah.
layer on. And then to make it go out, you put them a little bit further out,
Yeah.
et cetera. Yeah, cool.
But I'd have like a base to help it,
Right.
and then let it sit, and then come back and work at it a little bit at a time.
Yeah, because otherwise it'd be too soft and it would
Yeah.
fall apart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh,
So
interesting.
That's how that's done.
Okay, great. I'll take this mic off now, I guess. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. They're sanded with sandpaper.
Literally with sandpaper.
Yeah, sandpaper, and then after they're sanded smooth, then that's when I get the red clay slip. This is the red clay slip.
Right.
That would be this. And this is also melted down and sifted through a 120 also, just so that it gets
So
up.
what would they have used before sandpaper?
Sandpaper?
But, well, before obviously sandpaper wasn't always available. So what did they use before sandpaper?
You know, the cobs.
Oh, like a corn cob. Yeah, sure.
And
yeah.
Also dried cob.
A dried
Yeah.
cob, yeah.
yeah, and then also after it's sanded, then that's when this is applied, and I give it several coats, and it absorbs the clay. And once I feel that I have enough red slip on there, then I'll start polishing with the polishing stone.
Stones.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's what helps it. That's what polishes it and gets the shine.
And do you use a tumbler or something to polish, give the stones their initial polish, or how do you get those polished up?
How do I get these smooth?
Yeah.
These I actually I got these, a couple of them from my mom's,
Oh, okay.
and then a couple of them I got at different rock shops.
Okay, so
But
yeah.
there's a couple of stones that my mom has that are my grandmother's
Wow.
that I don't use. I like to use them, but you know, just knowing
Sentimental
that.
value.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I leave those at her place.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, so
But those last a long time,
Yeah.
don't they? Yeah.
yeah, so definitely. And then my favorites are like this red one, and they're all used for different things. Like this long one would be used. See, I have this one polished on the inside too. So this one you could actually hold water,
Okay.
and but if it wasn't polished on the inside, I wouldn't recommend putting water in it.
It would
Yeah.
soften the clay too much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but this, since it's like sealed,
Yeah.
it's good to hold water.
Okay. Huh.
And then I like wildlife. I like hunting, so I always like this one. I have the eagle on this side
Okay.
with a bee and the flower on this side.
Okay.
This one has the butterfly. This one has.
So when you say hunting, are you a big game or a small game?
Oh yeah, big game.
Big game? Okay.
Yeah,
Like
these
elk
ones
and
are like
things
kind of
that?
elk and deer. These are like spring pots,
Right.
like the butterfly, hummingbird, but they have a lot of my, like the deer,
Right.
the wolves, turkey, buffalo, mountain lion, and but yeah,
So you've got a cliff dwelling on the
yeah. This one also has the ruins too on the bottom.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
It's Kevin.
Let me just
and
put
we're going
my-
to give you a
Your mic is on, Kevin.
Okay. Okay.
Go ahead, Kevin, whenever you're ready.
All right. This piece is a butterfly with sunflowers, and it has the bear paws and the roses on the outside with the eagle feathers and the hearts. Just for those lucky people that are in love. So this is a nice Valentine plate, and the butterflies and the flowers are spring's coming, so that's why I started drawing the sunflowers and roses and hummingbirds and butterflies. All right. these two are. This is sifted, and then this is.
Hey, do you guys actually want to ask questions so that he can talk and everybody can hear?
I don't know what questions this.
Well, just the questions you're asking right now.
Sure.
Oh, it's just.
Let me just give you this. It's cool. Got audio.
So what do you do with the volcanic ash?
Okay, this is the clay. This is dug out of like a clay pit or like a vein, and so this is actually like looks like chocolate, but it's drying out. So it has to dry out in order for it to break down in the water. So it's dry. It's pretty much dried out, but this would be melted down in water, and then it be sifted through like a 60, a 80, and a 120 mesh. And this is the temper, the volcanic ash. That's also sifted through the 60, 80, and 120. So I do like 2 5-gallon buckets, one of each. And once I get all that sifted, then I lay out a canvas and I'll put the volcanic ash. And then after that, I'll put the clay on top, which the clay would be wet, and then mix it. And once I mix it, then I get my clay. The clay actually is, this is the clay. This is,
Oh wow.
see how fine it is?
Yeah.
So
And do you throw on a wheel or do you hand build or?
it's, I was doing a demonstration earlier. This was it, but it kind of, so I'll make my piece, the bottom. Usually sometimes I'll have like bottoms of the bowls and stuff too to help form the bottoms. So on a piece, I'll get the bottom formed. And then they're hand coiled.
Oh, okay.
So excuse me. So this is a coconut.
Oh wow.
Gourds and coconuts are what we use.
Would you like a job?
And see, like, could you see that piece right here? I mean, that's like an air pocket, so that actually helps us locate the air pockets, so we could get them out. But usually I really pack the clay real good, so I'll have like a board right here, and I'll slam the clay so it can take out the air pockets.
Yeah.
But like here's a bottom, and then usually I'll put the bottom in like we call it a puki. That's like the bottom to hold this piece.
Okay.
And then so like it's holding, it'll be made with coils. So the coils will be rolled out, and then they'll be added. They'll be added to the. So a coil would go around the whole piece to build it up, and then it's usually just connected like that,
Wow.
and then so all this is made out of just natural material. And then the backside will be connected also.
And is the clay that you use from here in New Mexico or
Yeah.
Santa Fe? Oh, that's great.
And it may have faded, out, but we are turning it off when he's just working on top of this. We don't have any of those. Right.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, take care.
So about how long from start to finish would one piece, like that bowl there?
Like this one?
Yeah. How long would that
It'd
take
be
you?
like so it'd be made. Then once it's made, then it's we let it set to dry, and once it dries completely, then I'll sand it with sandpaper, and get it smooth, and then after that after I get it smooth, then I come back with this other clay slip. This clay slip, and it's applied to the piece, and I put on several coats, and then once I feel I got enough coats of the red slip, then they're stone polished, and then they're stone polished smooth, so they go into the firing all red. They're all red pieces, and then they're let's see, then they're fired and they come out black. Let me show you. Let's see.
I love the different colors that you get with that etching underneath.
Yeah, it looks like when you shave away some of the black, it reveals the
Yeah.
color underneath.
See, so they look like that. They're red,
Oh, okay.
and they're in a homemade box. And then that's the firing.
Wow.
Oh, so you pit fire them. You don't
Yeah.
use like a kiln of.
And then they're smeltered with dry horse manure, and that
Wow.
smokes them black.
Wow.
So that's how. And once they're all smoked black, then they're etched.
Wow.
Hey, Charlie.
So hey Kevin, what are you doing right now?
Going over the lines on this flower.
Okay.
And
So
then,
you're trying to get it a little deeper.
yeah. And then after that, I'll bring it out.
And
put it
how
in.
hard are you pressing?
Little bit hard, not too hard, just enough to.
I can see your blade is bending just a little bit. It's bending just a little bit when you do that.
Just slightly.
Yep.
Sometimes, like the blade, I'll when it's real sharp, I'll use it for detail, and then like sometimes when it gets to a certain point, some blades I can use for a good while, and then some blades I can't use that long.
So
like this blade's doing pretty good.
So about how many blades would you go through on a pot about that size? About.
I'd say about 5 to 10 blades.
And how long have you been working on this pot?
This pot I've been working on since last week. After I got it fired, I started drawing on it. So I got like hummingbirds and butterflies on it.
And what are your favorite animals to draw?
The bear, the eagle. So I have a bear on this one. And then, and deer, elk. I have buffalo on this one.
And why the animals?
I love hunting.
Okay.
I like hunting a lot. And then here's a couple eagles. And then I have a flower and a bee on the opposite side.
And how do you get the red as well as the black?
That's what I'm trying to finish, get to where I complete this one so I can do the second firing and bring out the flowers on this. So I oxidize off the black with a propane torch.
Okay.
And so I'll bring back the red. So that's I want to at least try and get to that and demonstrate it today.
Oh, that would be amazing. Let's hope we can get that far today.
Okay. Yeah. And that's the last. That's the last thing I do on a piece. Once everything is etched, then I'll come back with the.
And where did the designs come from? Are they just in your head? Or do you use pictures of bears or buffalo or the animals that you've seen so that you get a realistic view? Because your pictures are very realistic.
Sometimes they're in my head, and then other times I'll see pictures and then I'll take a pic of it, and then I'll go off that. So different things.
And what's your most favorite animal you've seen in real life?
Definitely deer and elk, because I like hunting deer and elk. Eagles are nice to see too. They're around now.
They are?
Yeah. They migrate. They'll migrate out of here probably in March, but they come in from up north now.
And what type of eagles?
Both the golden and the bald. They're around Rio Grande now. So every now and then, if you're lucky, you'll get to see one.
Well, I do know that there is basically along the Rio Grande, and the mountains by the Rio Grande is a major migratory route for hawks and birds of prey, because they go south for the winter and north for the summer.
Yeah.
But I have never seen a bald eagle in New Mexico.
No, you haven't? Mm-mm. They're pretty neat.
They're huge birds.
Yeah. Yeah, every now and then you get lucky and you cross one of the bridges in Espanola. Sometimes you get to see one sitting. But yeah, they're pretty neat to see.
Yep. And are there a bunch of family members that you have that make pots?
My mom, her name's Jerry. She does pottery. She does miniatures. So does my aunt Dolores. She does miniatures also. Oh, no, she does big pieces too. And my great grandfather was on my grandpa's side was Luther, Van, and Margaret and
Yeah, Leela and
Yeah, Leela and Luther. Yeah, they're the ones that did the polychrome. Yeah, that's their stuff.
And what is your favorite part about doing pottery? Is it the making of the piece, or the firing, or the etching, or the finishing, or
I have to say, I like polishing because that's where you get your. It's like you get your canvas, you know. The 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 better it's polished. I mean, it's good to have a nice high polish. Also,
and do you have favorite polishing stones?
yeah, right, I have these.
And where did you get them?
I got this one at this one I got from my mom. She has a whole bunch that she collected at different places. And this one I got I think I got this one up in Colorado at a rock place. And this one got it in one of the rock, you know, where they put all the rocks together. But there's some that I have that are at my mom's that are my grandma's, and then also I have a couple that I found smooth river rocks, and those ones I use every once in a while too.
Yeah, but do you have a favorite one?
This one's my favorite.
That one's your favorite because it fits in your hand the best, or because
yeah.
it does the best job, or what's the reason for the favorite?
It's good for a big piece, but it's also good for small pieces. So this is my favorite one because it's just good for both sides. And this is my other favorite one because it's got a wide stroke when I polish, and I get a good big stroke on the piece. You know, when you're going back and forth.
And how many times do you polish your pieces?
The first polish is done, and it's all done to get it smooth. And once you get it smooth, then after that, polish it one more time. And after that, that's when the second polish is when I apply more pressure
Okay.
to get the shine.
So you only polish twice?
Yeah.
Okay. I've heard anywhere from 1 to 12 times that people polish the pots, depending on how they're taught.
Oh yeah. Well, the way I was taught is I apply the clay slip, and I try and get over. What are you looking for? The horse pot?
Of course.
Right here. And
Do we want to talk about it?
Sure.
Hey, Kevin, can we talk about a piece?
Okay.
They're not on the phone though,
Oh, that's okay.
but we can I'll tell them to look at it.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a horse pot. I used to have a horse, but horses are real. They're real special because they know they know and they sense you real good. So it's funny because I had this friend of mine. He goes, I told him, let's go feed the horse. He goes, no, I don't want to go with you. I go, why come? And he goes, horses don't like me. He goes, they always try and bite me. And I started laughing and I go, no, my horse never tries to bite me. I said, let's go. So we went to go feed the horse. This is a while back when I still had a horse. And so I went to go feed the horse. And he got too close to the fence. And it was funny because the horse went at him and tried to bite him. And after that, I believed him. But yeah, horses, they really know.
You're welcome. And thank you for that, Kevin.
Yeah.
So it looks like you begin the flower, right, by drawing the flower the first time.
Yeah.
You deepen the carving, and then you go in and you do the fill-in detail around it.
Yeah.
Is that the process that you do for all of it?
Either way, sometimes I'll do the like what I'm doing now, and then I'll go over the lines. So sometimes I'll do this detailing first, and then I'll go over with the lines too.
Do your hands get tired?
Not really. What gets tiring is the eyes. But I have to say, if I'm doing Indian market, some of my best stuff comes out like 72 hours before the market.
That's always the way it seems to work.
Yeah.
And
So-
you're, every time I've seen you at market, you're always there with your X-Acto blade.
Oh yeah, because you never know when somebody will come and tell me, you got to come to the shop and you got to sign a piece.
Well, there's a few of those here.
Are there?
Yep.
I believe it.
So what do you think is the hardest part about doing all of this?
Excuse me. The hardest part is this. Sifting, getting the clay and the white sand it's not too bad, but the hardest part is getting to this point. Sifting it, letting it dry first, because it won't break down if it's still wet. And then after that, excuse me, and then sifting both white sand and the clay. Mm-hmm. So once both both the clay and the white sand are sifted, then I could finally make the clay and mix the clay and the white sand to get to this part. Once I get to this part, that's the biggest thing, is making the clay itself.
And then what's the easiest part?
The easiest part I will have to say is letting your piece dry and you don't have to touch it. letting nature do its work.
That's a great answer. I love it. And all your materials come locally?
Yeah, everything's here from New Mexico. So from the reservation. We've got our clay, our white sand, our red. The red get up in the mountains wherever we find the vein of clay for that. This is a red clay slip, so it's clay also, but it's a paint. So when it's melted down, it looks like this. So, and that's what's used to polish the pieces.
So from what I heard, before 1956, Santa Clara and San Ildefonso Pueblos were getting their slips from near Cochiti, that red slip. And that area, unfortunately, in 1956, was all covered up by Cochiti Dam when it was put in place by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. And so there's a color change that happened in the 1950s from a kind of deep oxblood red to the red that we see today.
Yeah, there's all kinds of places to get the clay slip. You just have to look out for it. I remember driving to Albuquerque with my grandma a long time ago, and we stopped off the side of the road and we went over there, and she got some of the clay, and I remember her using that. But then other people come around from different villages too, and they'll either come with the red clay slip, or they'll come with the white clay, and are different colors too, selling it to the potters. So
there's kind of a cottage industry around pottery.
yeah, every once in a while somebody will come around and ask if anybody wants to buy clay. So that's how some people get their clay. Other people get their clay by just going out there and looking for it.
And what do you do?
I go out there and get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I do it. And
Well, it's interesting to hear that the hardest part of this is just making the raw material in order to begin.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Even before you start, just making the material. If you do it wrong, what happens?
you gotta get a good mix. So like if you have too much white sand from your clay, then sometimes when you're polishing and your piece is drying from the polishing, sometimes you'll get little hairline cracks in there. And then other times too, you'll run into problems if you have too much of something that when you're polishing, it doesn't soak and stick to the piece. What happens is the red clay slip will come off.
Okay.
So that's awful so you gotta have a good mix. So in order for you to, finish everything the way you want it.
So do you generally take one element and work on it until it's finished? Or do you kind of do one element and then work on it for a little while and then move to something else?
The clay, definitely, when I'm making my clay, I'll stay on that until I'm finished making the clay.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I finish making the clay, I'll make the pots or make my pieces. And sometimes with the pots that I make, like say if I have like what I have here with this piece was fired separate, I think, or maybe I know, because I have a tray that's probably so like I think these pieces, but not this one, and these were generally fired all together, but this one and some other smaller pieces that I had before were fired separate. So usually I'll make pieces but of course I have a smaller box too that's made out of those kerosene those old time kerosene tin cans. I just cut the top off, so it's a small box like that, and with that I'm able to fit like 4 of these. So if I have to do a smaller firing, I could do just like 4 pieces. But then I have the bigger box where I could put kind of like almost everything that I have right here.
Okay. And when you're doing this graffito on the piece, do you tend to like work on one flower until it's done, or do you kind of move around?
I'll try and do the one flower until I'm finished. And then once I'm finished with that one, then I'll move to another one.
When did you start doing art designs?
No, it's Valentine's coming up, so these are Valentine pots for the
So
people
just
that.
the beginning of the month.
Yeah, for the people that are lucky in love. But yeah, there's several that I have. So
Are you lucky in love?
no, I'm not lucky.
No. Kevin, we have somebody who's interested in one of your pieces. The tall one on the current.
And with what animal?
Is on your left-hand side, and the tallest one I think is.
With the butterfly?
No, I'm going to ask a butterfly, and if I can borrow this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't mind me?
No, go
Okay.
ahead. That's
All
just
right.
fine.
Okay.
Just give us 1 second. Let's just put it on that camera. Or give us a second, okay? All right, Kevin, would you mind holding the pieces like flat in your hand?
I think this is the
Talking
one she
about
was
each of them.
So she
Okay.
can see
Flat
that.
in your hand. Can you see them? Yeah. Just real quick. And turn on his audio. Okay.
Okay. This one has the butterfly and a rose on one side, with the roses up on top, and then it has the 2 bears on the other side with the roses.
All right, and then the next ones that are on the table.
Okay. This piece has a bumblebee with the flowers. And then on the other side, it has the two eagles with and the ruins down at the bottom. And then this piece has the three butterflies with the sunflower. And then it has the sunflower on the on the other side with the eagle feather pattern. And then this piece has the two buffaloes with the little buffalo on the bottom.
There you go. So two buffalo.
The two buffaloes and then a little buffalo at the bottom, like the family. And then it has the flowers with the rose on the other side. This one's this piece I call it kopovi. That means buffalo flower. And then this piece has the butterfly with a vanyu up on top and the feathers, the roses, the bear claw, the hearts.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. And this one has the hummingbird with a flower.
It was one that had a different shape on the top. So that's her phone number.
All right, give me 1 second. Okay, well, she should be able to watch.
Yeah, she can point it out. Mm-hmm. Tell her to leave a comment.
Yeah.
That one.
All right, well, thank you, Kevin. Appreciate that.
All right.
Are you going to set the cameras how you need and turn?
Sure.
The Chiefs tuba. I have to say,
That's the thing.
my friend, she's an Eagles fan, and we're always giving each other shit. So I think I'll back her up.
Yeah, that's good. I'm not an Eagles fan by nature, but I feel like they're, I don't know, I'm kind of pulling for them this time around. Mahomes is just, he's good, you know. I'm not worried about him.
You remember that one movie that they made? I think what's his name played in it, and it was the Eagles. Was it Vince Papale or something like that?
Was it
He was a walk-on.
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
Invincible.
Invincible,
Right? Yeah.
Hello, how you doing? That's good. Where are you from?
San Diego.
Oh, welcome to Santa Fe. I'm etching on some of my pieces. These are some of my pieces right here.
Can we get 2 Post-its or Post-it?
Yeah, that was a pretty good. It was based on a true story.
That's right, yeah.
Let me know if you have any questions.
Oh, I have too many. 'Cause I have to do 'em. 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 I have to do first question.
Okay.
Do you have families here?
Huh?
Your families are here?
My family? Yeah.
Oh, are you gonna record?
We're live streaming it.
To where?
Just to YouTube.
It's just on me.
It's just on him.
No, it's just on me. Nah.
Just so people can hear his answers to questions.
Hi, Andrea.
Hi.
How did you get into this?
My grandmother and my mom, they make pottery. So theirs is more traditional. Traditional would be like these pieces that are deep carved or painted. And those are traditional pieces. So this is like a traditional piece. And mine's more like contemporary etched. So like when I was little, I always wanted to. I saw them making the pots, so I always wanted to make too, but they wouldn't let me touch the clay because the clay it's precious, because it's hard to make. So like I was telling people, this is the raw material. This is the clay, and this is the temper.
And you make those two together?
Yeah. So this is melted down. It's melted down, and then it's sifted through 60, a 80, and a 120 mesh. And then the same thing with the temper. It's sifted to be real fine. So once it's sifted, I mix the two together, and this is how it feels.
And it looks so different compared to China. Like the finishes.
Yeah.
Is it like the way that's what's burned?
Yeah.
That's
So
not even the right word.
so you see like this part, this tan part.
Yeah.
That's how the clay looks when it's dry. So once it's dry, I'll get I'll sand it. Then this red clay slip is applied on top, and then they're stone polished. So then it's all polished, and then they go in. So this is how they look. They're red.
Yeah, they're red.
So it's like this piece right here, and then they're fired, and then it's smoked.
Oh.
It's smoked with dry horse manure.
Oh.
That's what smokes it black.
Oh.
And
So interesting.
once they're fired, then I'll etch on it, like what I'm doing now. Then after I do the etching, then after that, then I'll come back and I'll oxidize off the smoke and bring back the natural clay color and the red slip. And that's
That's the process.
yeah. And I'll use a propane.
我吃菜，我手不好啊。哦，不好，不好。
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Well, I didn't notice that the opening on that is a heart.
Oh yeah,
Is this like the final product?
yeah. So these are all finished.
Finished?
Yeah.
You're working on.
I'm working on this, and see, it has a heart shape,
Yeah.
and then it has the hummingbird, the butterflies, and then the roses.
So you always make the shape first, and
Yeah,
you sculpt and put on the color. And
yeah.
the latest.
Everything's done. Like now, I'm etching on it, and so once I get all this etching, then I'll come back with a propane torch and oxidize off the areas where I want it to turn red again, So it brings back the natural clay, the clay colors. So that's what gives it the two-tone.
So you only torch the part that you want it to be colored.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a two firing process. So these are already fired.
Yeah. I see. So for like now example these like they have light color and red, so you just torch it for longer.
Yeah, uh, just to bring it out, some more. And the more I want it to be more red, the longer I'll keep the flame on there. The less, then I'll move it away so it won't be so red. So
They're for decoration only?
yeah, they're art. Yeah,
Nice. Wow.
but before our ancestors and our people used it utilitarian.
Yeah.
So like this could hold water because it's polished on the inside.
Yeah.
So they would use it for holding water and cooking and stuff like that.
Nice. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Doing this by phone is very hard.
Oh, okay.
Figure out which ones you want.
Get her on the phone and then we'll point at each one.
All right.
She said a sphere with an
Is that off now? This one I got from the same place I got my. Beautiful. Thank you. It's already almost gonna be two.
Yeah, do you need some food?
Sure, that'll be good.
What do you want?
Whatever you guys.
We've got Palace, or not Palace, what is it called? Plaza Cafe?
Yeah, that's fine.
Do you like a sandwich or a burger?
Uh, do they have like club sandwiches or something like that? That'd be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want like fries or slaw? Or something?
Fries would be good.
Yeah, anything to drink?
Yeah, Dr. Pepper.
Sounds good.
Okay.
I'll just ask again. I think, one of the things that our customers are often wondering about is stories, about the work, and it's something that I'm interested in. I was wondering if you had any kind of insight or anything you wanted to share.
Yeah, I try and use one of our three traditional designs on my pottery, which is like I always use the Avani. Let's see, where is it?
If you get it right. Yeah,
All
that's
right.
good. That's perfect.
Right there,
Yeah. Or this way a little bit.
this way.
Yeah, just put it like right here. Yeah, that's perfect. That's it.
Right here's the Vanyu. That's the water serpent, and he's the one that protects the waters of the earth, and so I use him, and then also the feather pattern or the eagle feather, kiva step pattern. I'll use that on my pottery. Those are traditional designs, and then the bear claw. I'll put those on my pots too also. So like I got them right here. So those are the three traditional designs of Santa Clara. So back on older pieces, you would see like one Avanu on a pot or just one bear paw, which was pretty simple. It's just like a U with the three lines, and or just a feather pattern, just the one feather pattern. Yeah, here's an example of a traditional piece that has the bear paw. This is a nice piece. Oh yeah, that that's
Yeah.
Sharon. She does nice work.
She
Yeah,
does. She
yeah,
does.
she's awesome.
She's great. Yeah.
So at least try and put one piece. I mean, one of the traditional designs, at least one or two. But most of the time, I'll I'll use three.
Thank you.
Are we on audio?
you
Yeah.
mind if I pick some up, or does that bother you? If I,
Oh,
because that's a beautiful piece. I want to look at that one too. That's yeah.
those are earlier pieces from like the 90s.
Right.
And then some of these other pieces are like now. But like the two that you looked at, those ones are like from the 1990, and then the other pieces are more recent.
And you made this. You did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I like that idea. I hate to ask if it's negotiable. It's a little out of the range.
I'm afraid not.
It's not.
We are offering free shipping on all of Kevin's pieces today.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
And if you ship out of state, you are not liable for the sales tax.
Actually, that's a good price because the ones that you know how everything changed. The ones now are like more like 600. That was from back in 1990.
No, it's beautiful. And I'm not saying it, in any way. Do you put your card in with this? Or any kind of information with it?
You guys have a write up, no?
Yeah, we do.
You do?
Absolutely. We include a bio and some background and family tree and
That
some
would be
background
awesome.
in Santa Clara.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. But I don't need it shipped.
Okay.
If you could just box it up for
Yeah,
me.
of course. If you go over to the desk there, one of them would be very happy to
Oh,
help you.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Beautiful work.
Thank you very much.
And when did you make this piece? I'm sorry.
That was probably like early mid 90s.
Early mid-90s?
Yeah.
I love that wedding baby's shape. I think it's so pretty.
Thank you.
Do you like any particular form, like the wedding vase or the bigger bowls
Actually,
or the little seed pots?
like this shape,
Okay.
but way bigger.
Yeah,
And
I mean this one is larger than I've seen from you. I think in a while.
Yeah.
Like, that one's cool.
yeah, I have a hawk on this one.
That's beautiful.
Well, two of them. I have the one flying and then the one sitting. So I'm gonna draw on this one. Still need to draw on this one. But this one, this one has the heart shape
That's great.
with the hummingbirds, butterflies, and the hearts. Valentine's. But I have to say, like that eagle piece right there.
Yeah, that's a beauty.
Some like big pieces. I've collaborated a couple times with different potters, and like because this comes up and it has such a big surface, like the bigger pieces. I got a lot of room to etch, and definitely gives me a lot to work with.
It's a bigger canvas to work from.
Yeah. Yeah, man, this you can feel the lightness.
Yeah, that one's beautiful.
I want to get this one off so I could demonstrate the two-toning.
Yes.
Because if I do that, maybe you guys might be able to sell some more.
It would be really cool to see you do
The two-tone.
So when did you start doing the rose design?
I started doing that probably like back in the 90s. I would do it every once in a while, not all the time. But since it's like springtime coming, I kind of like do what's coming up, like the flowers and butterflies, hummingbirds.
So do you kind of work seasonally?
Yeah, and like same thing with the. I used to draw, etch a lot of elk and deer, because those are my favorite subjects.
Right.
But like now, I'll do them, but like not as often, because I know they're my favorite subjects. So like, I'll I haven't done one in a while, but now I have well, I would say for a while there, bears were fun to do.
Yeah.
I was doing bears, and then buffaloes. I like drawing buffaloes too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a reason you haven't done a elk or a deer in a while?
Because I had a lot of pieces out there like that, and
So you wanted to kind of mix it up
Yeah.
a little bit. Yeah.
so now I'll probably start doing more.
Cool.
And like I was telling you about the pieces, a big piece like I collaborated on one time, and
With Joe, or was it Joe and Eunice?
yeah,
Or?
I had some. I heard an elk on it, and that came out nice.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I see a lot of on a lot of your designs you have. There's a kind of a split. Like you have some with the kind of a close up of the animal,
Yeah.
and then there are some where you have it like kind of in nature.
Yeah.
I'm personally, I really enjoy the ones where it's kind of like a scene.
Oh, yeah,
Like kind of like you're hunting or something, and you come across like a stand, of trees, and then there's some deers there.
I've done a couple of them with the deer running away, like
Yeah, yeah.
and with mountain lion sneaking up on them. Those ones,
That's cool.
they take a while, but those ones are come out nice
That's beautiful.
once I finish them.
Do you ever do these days like larger vessels that you build?
Yeah, I'm starting to do bigger pieces.
Cool.
So hopefully I'll get like Sherry.
Yeah.
she sure does some nice.
Sherry does it big.
Yo, what time is it? I have to go.
I called maybe about 15 minutes ago or so. Probably whenever you're able, I guess. They told me like 10:15. Thank you, Fabian.
Yeah, so and those they do take a while. One of my favorite ones that I never forgot, and this guy from Wyoming has it, and it was pretty simple. It was a piece probably smaller than this, but between these two, and excuse me. I drew two boo elk fighting each other, and that sure came out nice.
Beautiful.
And that's all I did was just the two boo elk fighting each other, and I sold that one at market one year.
Cool. How long have you been doing the market here in Santa Fe?
Probably since 1992.
Wow.
Or 93.
Wow.
I missed that. Well, it's not tenure anymore. Everybody has to apply.
Right.
But before, people would be tenured. But yeah, I've been doing it since early 90s.
30 years almost.
Yeah. And it's really the only show I do. But like I said, I'm gonna try and probably get into herd again.
Cool. Yeah, I'm sure Arizona would be happy to have you.
And I haven't been out to Arizona in a while. And then some of these older pieces, you could tell how it's like just just traditional designs, like the bear claw and the Albanyu. But now it's like more more detail with like the buffalo,
Yeah,
and then
the rose inside
Yeah.
the medallion.
Are you okay if I take a picture?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Because I'll give it with the gift.
Oh, okay.
You'll get a kick out of that.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Your work is beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, so I don't mind doing just traditional designs too
Yeah.
every once in a while,
Yeah,
without wildlife or anything like that, just all traditional.
yeah. Did you ever make pieces with a deeper carving? I know your mom, Jerry, doesn't. She usually does the really, really miniature works, and then very light scratching and very.
Oh yeah,
I can see your influence.
I done pieces where I deep carved them, like this shape. On the top, I have the fine design, and then on the bottom, I'll have the bear paw deep carved.
Yeah.
So
I think I've seen one of those
Yeah.
actually. Yeah.
So I do those kind too.
Where did you learn the technique where you're using the torch?
From my mom and from my aunt Martha. She passed away, but her and her husband, he passed on too. But they did a lot of two-toning.
Cool.
So I'll never forget. I stayed at my cousin's house, and that was my aunt Martha's son. It's my cousin Dino. And one time we were going from one house to the other, and she gave me a bear fetish to hold, and it was two-tone, and she had it in a tray, and she told me to hold it, and I had to sit in the middle of the truck, in the middle, because it's just a bench seat. So she was driving, I was sitting in the middle, my cousin Dino was on the other side. So I had to sit there with this piece like this, and she goes, "Don't drop it." And I looked at that, and it was nice work. And I was a little guy then, and I looked at it. I go, "Man, this is nice. I want to do stuff like this."
That's cool.
And that's where I got inspired by doing work like that. You still recording? Should I stop? Good. Let me go to.
live again.
Are we?
And we're back.
Okay.
And we're back.
All right.
I'll take off my mask.
Thank you.
Are these your polishing stones?
Yeah, these are the polishing stones. These are raw materials. This is the clay, and this is the volcanic ash, which is the temper. So
Now, when you say temper, what do you mean by temper?
it's mixed with the clay to give it the elasticity and, you know, to like this, so it can be stretched and have that flexibility. So this, excuse me,
That's okay, sign of the times.
this would have come out like chocolate, like a dark brown or dark reddish. And so in order for this to melt down, it will have to be sun dried. So this is pretty much getting there. And once it's sun dried, then we apply water, and I usually use like a 5-gallon drum bucket and melt the clay down, and then it'll be sifted through a 60, a 80, and a 120 mesh. So I could get it fine, and then after that, the same thing with the volcanic ash. It'll be sifted through the same screens, and once that's all sifted, they're mixed. And when they're mixed, this is how our clay feels.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's cold.
It's cold, and it's smooth. It's like,
Oh, boy.
see how, like I was demonstrating earlier on the bottom, and then the coil on top. So
Oh, it feels good.
so actually this this clay, once it's mixed and made, we usually kind of pound the clay on the board in several sizes like this, and try and pound out all the air pockets or air. Yeah. So, you know, with a little bit of water, and then like.
Now, does the water help get these little creases?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, mine has creases.
Yeah, and then so it'd be like to shape the bottom.
Kevin, how many years have you been making pots?
Probably my first pieces were snakes.
It's so amazing to think
So-
that these start like this.
From this
From
to
that.
this
Oh, my God.
to that. When I was like about 4, I was in 8 Northern with my grandma and my mom, and we weren't allowed to mess with the clay because how much it takes to get to this point. And back then, we didn't have those screens like, you know, where you could just fit on a bucket.
Right.
My grandpa used to put a nylon pantyhose over the bucket and sift
Oh, my goodness.
the clay through that. So that some people still do it like that.
Wow. From that to that
Yeah.
to those. Oh, my.
So like, here's a tool that I like to use. It's made out of coconut.
Oh, I have to excuse
is
myself.
that
That's
your phone?
probably
Okay.
my
Okay.
husband telling me he's going to pick me up. I'm gonna miss it.
Time to come and buy you a pottery.
Did you have any questions, Denise?
No, I was really curious about how long you've been doing this. Because it's so, the level of detail is so amazing.
My first show was in Taos when I was like in 6th grade. Yeah, my mom's, one of my mom's pottery buyers had a show for her, and then he said if we wanted to, she could bring us. So back then, that's when she would make the pieces, and she'll give me a couple of them, and I would draw on her pots.
Right.
But as I got older, I started making my own, like when I got into junior high and high school. Once I got into high school and I knew I could do it all myself,
Yeah,
that's when I,
really started.
I made the mistake of quitting high school in my junior year and just going for my GED and working on pottery
Being a potter.
full time, yeah. But back then, pottery was going good. Now it's a little bit slow, but it's still what I love to do. I'd rather do this than anything else. Yeah.
It's in you.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome.
Do you draw like when you're just on paper and stuff when you're not working, or do you pretty much leave it all on the clay?
Yeah, I draw on paper too.
Yeah.
Actually, they wouldn't buy me drawing paper when I was small. So I would steal their tablets or whatever, those shorthand tablets.
Yeah.
And draw on the newspaper. The
in the margin.
The margin, yeah, I was drawing the margin, so I was always drawing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna go wash my hands so I could.
Sounds good.
Touch the pottery again. Almost.